Welcome to a chilling dive into one of America's most notorious, unsolved true crime cases, the Zodiac Killer. Operating in Northern California during the late 1960s, this unidentified murderer terrorized communities with a series of attacks, taunting letters, and cryptic puzzles that baffled investigators for decades. While the killer claimed up to 37 victims, only 5 murders are officially confirmed by authorities. We'll explore the reported timeline, the victims, the eerie communications, and why this case still keeps people up at night, all based on documented reports, with no graphic details. The Zodiac's reign of terror reportedly began on December 20, 1968, in Benicia, California. 2 high school students, David Faraday, aged 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, aged 16, were found deceased after being shot while parked on a remote road known as Lake Herman Road. This Lover's Lane attack set a pattern for isolation and surprise. Just over 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, in Valley Joe, another couple, Michael Mageau, 19, and Darlene Farron, 22, were targeted in a similar manner at Blue Rock Springs Park. Mageau survived the shooting and provided a description of the assailant as a stocky man in his late 20s or early 30s, but Farron tragically did not. The attacks escalated on September 27, 1969, at Lake Berryessa in Napa County. College students Brian Hartnell, 20, and Cecilia Shepard, 22, were approached by a hooded figure wearing a symbol resembling a crosshairs. The assailant used a knife in this incident. Hartnell survived after a harrowing encounter, but Shepard succumbed to her injuries days later. Hartnell described the attacker as calm and methodical, adding to the creepy aura surrounding the case. This was the only attack where the killer wore a costume, heightening the sense of theatrical dread. The final confirmed murder occurred on October 11, 1969 in San Francisco. Cab driver Paul Stein, 29, was shot in the Presidio Heights neighborhood. Unlike previous victims, Stein was alone and not in a remote area, suggesting the killer was growing bolder. Witnesses reported seeing a man fleeing the scene, and a composite sketch was created based on their accounts. A white male with glasses and crew, cut hair. What truly sets the Zodiac apart are the taunting letters and ciphers sent to newspapers and police. Starting in July 1969, the killer mailed messages to outlets like the San Francisco Chronicle, demanding publication or threatening more violence. He signed with a zodiac-like symbol and claimed to collect slaves for the afterlife. Enclosed were complex ciphers. The first, known as Z408, was solved by a civilian couple in August 1969, revealing rambling statements about his motives but no identity. Another, Z340, remained unsolved until 2020, when codebreakers deciphered it to read messages denying false claims and boasting about evading capture. 2 other ciphers, Z13 and Z32, are still unsolved today. These letters, often riddled with deliberate misspellings, included threats like bombing school buses, spreading fear across the Bay Area. Investigations involved multiple agencies, including the San Francisco Police Department, Vallejo Police, and the FBI. Detectives like Dave Toschi pursued thousands of leads, from fingerprints to handwriting analysis. A key moment came when the killer allegedly called a TV show in 1969, but this was never confirmed. In the 1970s, searches of suspects' homes yielded circumstantial evidence, but nothing conclusive. The case went cold in 2004 due to lack of new leads but was reopened in 2007. Recent efforts include DNA testing in 2018 and 2021, using modern genealogy techniques, but no matches have been publicly reported. The multi-jurisdictional nature added complexity, as agencies struggled to share information effectively. Several suspects have emerged over the years, though none were charged. The most prominent is Arthur Leigh Allen, a former teacher and convicted offender who died in 1992. Reported allegations include him owning similar weapons and making suspicious statements to friends. But searches of his property found no direct links, and his handwriting didn't match. Other alleged suspects include Gary Francis Post, named by an independent group in 2021, and Earl Van Bestgender, but authorities dismissed these due to insufficient evidence. The Zodiac's true identity remains a mystery, fueling endless speculation. Beyond the confirmed cases, the Zodiac claimed connections to earlier incidents, like the 1966 murder of Cherry Joe Bates in Riverside, California, where a confession letter was sent, but this link is alleged and unproven. Other potential victims include disappearances in the early 1960s, but these remain speculative. The killer's letters stopped in 1974, though hoax communications surfaced later. This abrupt silence adds to the eerie, unanswered questions. Was he arrested for something else? Did he die? Or is he still out there? The Zodiac case has left an indelible mark on popular culture, inspiring books like Robert Graysmith's Zodiac and films such as David Fincher's 2007 movie. It highlighted flaws in law enforcement coordination and the power of media in amplifying fear. Decades later, amateur sleuths and zodiologists continue dissecting clues online, keeping the story alive. But for the victims' families, it's a painful reminder of unresolved justice. Why does this case keep us up at night? The Zodiac wasn't just a killer, he was a psychological tormentor, playing games with codes and threats that suggested a twisted intelligence. In an era before DNA forensics, he slipped away, leaving a trail of what-ifs. If new technology cracks the remaining ciphers or DNA, we might finally unmask him. Until then, the Zodiac remains one of true crime's greatest enigmas. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the Zodiac Killer. If this story chilled you, like and subscribe for more true crime tales. What unsolved case haunts you? Comment below.